Consolidated financial statement at date of acquisition. On the date of acquisition, a consolidated statement of financial position is the only statement that is prepared. And the acquisition date is the date that acquirer obtains control of the acquiree in a combination effected by a sale and purchase agreement. This is generally the specified closing or completion date, or the date when the consideration is transferred and acquiree shares or underlying net assets are acquired. Consolidated financial statements are financial statements that presents the assets, liabilities, equity, income, expenses, and cash flows of a parent and its subsidiaries as those of a single economic entity. Conditions for consolidated financial statements. The general rule for financial statements are to be consolidated when a parent company owns over 50% of the voting common stocks of another company, thereby having a controlling interest, and the exception is the qualitative factors. There are two types of subsidiaries, the wholly owned and the partially owned. In the wholly owned, 100% of the shares is controlled by the parent company. And in the partially owned, there are more than 50% of the voting common stocks is controlled by the parent company, and the non-controlling interest is in the minority interest. Results of acquisition. There is the price paid or consideration transferred, non-controlling interest in subsidiary, previously held securities, less fair value of identifiable net assets of the subsidiary, goodwill, or the gain or bargain purchase. The price paid is composed of the amount of cash paid, the non-cash assets, and if there is a transferred shares issued, and the estimated liability, and etc. And in the goodwill or the gain or bargain purchase, if the total cost of the fair value is higher than the total cost, then it will be goodwill. But if the fair value is higher than the total cost, it will be gain. Presentation of the NCI in the financial statement. The NCR, or the non-controlling interest, is presented in the consolidated statement of financial position under the shareholders' equity. This is presented in total and is not broken down into common stocks, APIC, and retained earnings. It should be presented in one line item. The measurement of the NCR, or the non-controlling interest. There are two options of measuring the non-controlling interest, and the general rule of non-controlling interest measurement that it must be measured at fair value of a fair value, and there is exception of it, and the parent company opted to measure the non-controlling interest at proportionate, or the proportionate share is higher than the fair value, the share value of the non-controlling interest. the step in acquisition. First one is the purchase of shares are made at different points in time, and the previously held securities or PHS shall be remeasured at fair value at the date of acquisition when control is obtained.